Assalamualaikum, my name is Arif Iskandar bin Saifulizan and my student ID is 2025893404.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Adlan Fahmi bin Nurisham Adli. My student ID is 2025404884 and I'm from AM 101C Group 7.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Ashar Daniel bin Atnizan and my student ID is 2025402172.
For introduction of compound interest, compound interest is a technique for calculating interest where the interest accrued during each period is added to the principal sum. This results in future interest being calculated on the total amount, which includes both the original principal and any previously generated interest. Consequently, interest accumulates on both the initial amount and the interest that has already been earned.
For problem statement, Farah has been working as a junior accountant at Seri Murni Holdings for the past 14 months. She plans to grow her savings by placing her money in a CIMB fixed deposit FDI maturity return account. Farah decided to deposit RM8,500 for a period of 4 years and the account offers a profit rate of 1.75% compounded quarterly.
Next is objective for case study 1. Number 1 is to determine the accumulated amount at the end of Farah's saving period. Number 2, to calculate the total invested received by Farah. Number 3, to calculate the account balance at the end of saving period when Farah deposit an additional 3,000 into same account 1 year after her initial deposit. Number 4, to calculate the accumulated amount at the end of the saving period when the interest rate changed to 2.10% compounded every 4 months, 18 months after her initial deposit.
Result and discussion from the problem statement. The information given is the principal amount or P, which is equal to 8,500 ringgit, and the nominal annual rate or K, which is equal to 1.75% or 0.0175. The frequency of conversion or M is equal to 4, which is every 3 months, and the timeline or T is equal to 4 years. The periodic interest rate or I is equal to K over M, which is 0.0175 over 4, equals to 7 over 1,600. The number of interest period or N is equal to M times T, which is 4 times 4 equal to 60.
To determine the accumulated amount at the end of Farah's saving period. As we can see, the formula we will use is S equals to P times 1 plus I to the power of N. Next, we will just substitute the formula with the number which is S equals to 8,500 times 1 plus 7 over 1,600 to the power of 16. That will give us the answer of our S or future value, which is 9,114 ringgit and 93 cents.
The second objective is to calculate the total interest received by Farah. Therefore, to find the interest, we will use the formula I equal to S minus P. Then we will substitute S and P with the information that was given earlier, which means I equal to 9,114.93 minus 8,500, and the answer will be 640 ringgit 93 cents.
Objective 3, to calculate the account balance at the end of the saving period when Farah deposit an additional 3,000 into the same account 1 year after her initial deposit. First, the interest per quarter is calculated by dividing 0.0175 by 4, which gives 7 over 1,600. Second, then the number of compounding period for the first year is found by multiplying 4 by 1, which gives 4. Next, the future value of the first deposit is calculated by multiplying 8,500 with rise to the power of 4, which result in 8,649 ringgit and 73 cents. After that, this amount is added to the second deposit by taking 8,649 ringgit and 73 cents and adding 3,000, which give a new principal of 11,649 ringgit and 73 cents. Then, the number of compounding period for the next 3 years is obtained by multiplying 4 by 3, which gives 12. Finally, the new principal of 11,649 ringgit and 73 cents is multiplied by raised to the power of 12, which produces the final amount of 12,276 ringgit and 27 cents.
Next is objective 4. To calculate the accumulated amount at the end of the saving period when the interest rate changes to 2.10% compounded every 4 months, 18 months after her initial deposit. So, as we can see, T1 equals to 18 months, which is 3 over 2 in years, and then T2 is 2 years, 6 months, which is 5 over 2 in years. After that, we'll look at P. P equals to 8,500 ringgit. K1 equals to 1.75%, which is 0.0175, and K2 equals to 2.10%, which is 0.021. After that, for our M1, M1 equals to 4 and M2 equals to 3. And then for I1, the formula we will be using is K1 over M1, which is 0.0175 over 4, and that leads to 7 over 1600. For I2, we will be using K2 over N2, which is 0.021 over 3 equals to 7 over 1000. And lastly, for our N1, we will multiply M1 with T1, which is 4 times 3 equals to 2 equals to 6. And then for N2, we will multiply it M2 with T2, which is 3 times 5 over 2 equals to 7.5. Next is to calculate and find S1. The formula we will use is S1 equals to P times 1 plus I1 to the power of N1. After that, we just substitute the formula with the number which is S1 equals to 8500 times 1 plus 7 over 1600 to the power of 6. And that will lead us to the answer which is S1 equals to 8725 ringgit and 58 cents.
Production of annuity. An annuity is a financial arrangement that provides a series of fixed payments made at regular intervals over a specified period of time, commonly used in retirement planning, insurance products, and long-term financial contracts. Annuities help individuals or organizations manage cash flows with predictability and stability. Because each payment occurs at a different point in time, the value of an annuity is influenced by the time value of money, the principle that money available today is worth more than the same amount in the future due to its earning potential. Understanding how annuities work, how they are valued, and the differences between types such as ordinary annuities and annuities do is essential for making informed financial decisions.
Next, we go to problem statement. Adlan's planned to buy a brand new Proton X50 for his daily commute. He is interested in purchasing the car because of its modern feature, safety system, and fuel efficiency. The cost price of the Proton X50 is 81,800. Adlan plans to pay 10% as a down payment, and the remaining balance will be financed through the car loan under the Bank Rakyat Auto Finance Scheme. The banks offer an annual interest rate of 2.5% compounded monthly, and the loan will be settled through monthly payment over a period of 9 years.
Next is objective for case study 2. First is to determine the amount of monthly payment paid by Adlan. Second is to calculate the total interest incurred throughout the loan period. For the third objective is to calculate the outstanding loan balances if Adlan decides to settle the loan immediately after making the 60-month monthly payment. And lastly is to determine the outstanding area that must be settled in the next payment if Adlan misses 2 consecutively monthly payment.
For the result and discussion, cost price is RM 81,800. For the down payment, which is 10% times CP equals to 8,180. For the balance, which is CP minus DP equals to 73,620, which means A. K is 2.5%, equivalent to 0.025. M is 12 for monthly. T equals to 9 years. For I is I equals to K over M, and we just put the number into the formula. 0.025 over 12 equals to 1 over 480. And lastly, N equals to MT, bracket 12 times 9 equals to 108.
Objective 1. To determine the accumulated amount at the ends of Farah saving periods. So we use the annuity formula, which is A equals R multiply 1 minus in brackets 1 plus I to the power of negative N divided by I. Therefore, we rearrange the formula to solve for R, which is R equals A times I divided in brackets 1 minus times 1 plus I to the power of negative N. So we just substitute the values into the formula. As we know, A is 73,620 times I is 1 over 480 divide in brackets 1 minus times 1 plus 1 over 480. To the power of negative 108. So after calculate, we get R, which is equal to 761 ringgit and 93 cents.
Objective 2. To calculate the total interest incurred throughout the loan period. So we use formula I equals to R bracket N minus A. So I equals to bracket 761 ringgit 93 cents times 108 minus bracket 73,620. So we get I equals to RM 8,668 ringgit and 44 cents.
Next is our objective 3, which is to calculate the outstanding loan balances if Adilan decides to settle the loan immediately after making the 60 monthly payment. As you can see, the formula we will use is N unpaid equals to N total minus N paid, and it will bring us to 108 minus 60 equals to 48. To calculate the balance, we will use the formula of AN equals to R in the bracket 1 minus multiply 1 plus I to the power of negative N and divided it with I. Then, we will just replace the formula with the number, and the calculation will be A48 equals to 761.93 in the bracket 1 minus multiply 1 plus 1 over 480 to the power of negative 48, and then divide with 1 over 480, and the answer for A48 is 34,769 ringgit and 4 cents.
Objective 4. To determine the outstanding areas that must be settled in the next payment if Adilan misses 2 consecutive monthly payments. N unpaid equals 2 plus 1 equals to 3. The formula is Sn equals R times in bracket 1 plus I to the power of N minus 1 and divided by I. S3 equals 761.93 times in bracket 1 plus 1 over 480 to the power of 3 minus 1 divided by 1 over 480. S3 equals 2,290 ringgit 56 cents.
Next, we go to the conclusion case study 1. To sum up case study 1, Farah saving in the CIMB fixed deposit I account, employee illustrated how compound interest promote long-term financial growth. The accumulated amount rises as a result of both additional deposit made during the saving period and the regular compounding effect. The final sum varies when the profit rate does, demonstrating that even a slight variation in the rate can have a big effect over time. This case study emphasizes how crucial it is to comprehend compound interest so that people can better plan their saving and make future financial decisions.
Lastly is conclusion case study 2, annuity. In conclusion for case study 2, Adilan's car loan shows how annuities involve fixed monthly payments over a long period of time until the loan is fully settled. The calculation of monthly installment and total interest incurred proves that borrowing money will significantly increase the overall cost of the car. Additionally, missed payment will further raise the outstanding balance and cause financial burden. This case study emphasizes the importance of careful loan planning, understanding interest charges, and maintaining consistent repayments in order to avoid debt problems and manage personal finances responsibly.